This country's national anthem is my favorite in the world. And no, I'll not be singing it. But not to worry, I'll just whistle the tune. Any guesses? Well, watch and find out what happened there on this day, and of course, what country this is. Hello and welcome to my channel. It's the 23rd of December. Welcome to Today in History. If you're a subscriber, thanks for dropping by once again. If you are a return visitor, thanks for dropping by. Consider subscribing so that you receive updates of my video uploads. If you're here for the first time, thanks for dropping by. On this channel, I share important events that have occurred on this day. I hope that you like my content. Hope we as a whole would learn from history as well, because there are lessons to learn from history. Okay, let's get cracking. Let's start with the year 1805. On this day, the founder of Mormonism, Joseph Smith, was born. The year again was 1805, and he is pictured right here. Joseph Smith, an American prophet whose writings, along with the Bible, provided the theological foundation of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints and other Mormon denominations, was born. I didn't realize the Mormons had denominations. Anyway, so this is Joseph Smith, American prophet, founder of the Mormon Church, or the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Okay, you can see from this picture that is the vision that he saw. I think it was 1800 and something that he saw this. Obviously, yes, because he was born in 1805. Joseph Smith born on this day. 10 years later, British author Jane Austen, pictured here, published her fourth novel titled Emma, as seen in this picture, which centers on a precocious young woman whose misplaced confidence in her matchmaking abilities occasions several romantic misadventures. That's quite interesting. That sounds really interesting. I think it's a book I'm going to purchase one of these days and read. That's interesting. A matchmaker an unsuccessful matchmaker. Okay, so that's Jane Austen's fourth novel, which was published on this day in 1815. We now move on to the year 1867, and this is Madam C.J. Walker. So Madam C.J. Walker was born on this day in 1867. She died on the 25th of May, 1919, at the age of 52, at a young age of 52, but she was a very successful woman. She was an American businesswoman, hair care entrepreneur, tycoon, and philanthropist. Her fortune was made by developing and marketing a hugely successful line of beauty and hair products for Black women under the company she founded, Madam C.J. Walker Manufacturing Company. So that was the name of the company. The Guinness Book of Records cites Walker as the first female, black or white, who became a millionaire by her own achievements. Wow, that's interesting. So first female millionaire, Madam C.J. Walker. She was born on this day in 1867. Emperor Akihito was also born on this day. The year was 1933, beg your pardon. So 1933, Emperor Akihito, Emperor of Japan, was born on this day. So these are pictures of him and his wife, and don't know if these are members of his family pictured here. Let's do a bit of picture movement so you can see. Yeah, these are probably members of his family, possibly extended family as well. Okay, Emperor Akihito, born on this day, Emperor of Japan. On this day as well, the year is 1935, so 2 years later, Asta Phillips was born. She was born in Galveston, Texas. She is most well known for songs such as Double Crossing Blues, Release Me, and Home is Where the Hatred Is. So that's an interesting one. She died in 1984 at the age of 48. Young age of 48, sadly. Okay, so Asta Phillips, born on this day, she was a singer, born in Galveston, Texas. I've been there, nice place. She's most well known for songs such as Double Crossing Blues, Release Me, and Home is Where the Hatred Is. Not the heart, but the hatred. Okay, 1995. And yes, this is the answer to my riddle at the beginning. Well, not so much a riddle. Those of you who are from Poland would recognize the song, and those of you who are into your music. So his name is Aleksander Kwaniewski. I hope I got the pronunciation correctly, my Polish viewers. This is your president. He was inaugurated as Polish president on this day in 1995, and his country happens to be the national anthem of his country. Happens to be my favorite national anthem in the world. I love the national anthem of Poland. So, Aleksander Kwasniewski was formerly an apparatchik of Poland's ruling Communist Party. He was sworn in as the country's president on this day in 1995, having narrowly defeated Lech Walesa. So this is Aleksander Kwasniewski, who was sworn in as Polish president on this day. Last but not least, this is an interesting one. Sobering as well. No one likes war. No one likes, reasonable person likes guns, because I think they've created more problems in the world than solutions. Some would argue that guns keep the peace. Others would argue that it doesn't. Others would say, look at the figures. Americans are allowed to carry firearms. That's in their constitution. Britain, for instance, you have to be licensed. I think in America too, licensing laws for carrying firearms as well. But the laws in the UK are a lot stricter. And anyway, the jury's out on that. I'm not going to go into arguments or debates as to whether people should have the right to bear arms or not. But I think the results are out there, Anyway, Mikhail Kalashnikov, this is the man. He's a Russian weapons designer. This is the guy who invented the AK-47. And AK is short for Automatic Kalashnikov Model 1947. So on this day, Mikhail Kalashnikov died. The AK-47 is an assault rifle that became one of the most successful and ubiquitous firearms of the modern era. Ubiquitous essentially means all over the place, So one of the most successful, I would say probably the most successful and ubiquitous firearm of the modern era. He died in Izhevsk, Russia on this day. So that's him with the weapon that he invented, the AK-47. So Automatic Kalashnikov 1947. On that note, folks, on that sobering note, we have come to the end of Today in History. No reasonable human being likes war. We all want to live in peace, but I guess sometimes force is needed to keep the peace, But in an ideal world, we would not want weapons, No, I don't think anyone wants to force people. Most people don't want to force other people to keep the peace, but sometimes it's necessary, it's necessary. And, for countries that have it in their constitution that, for the right to bear arms, it's in the constitution. And the only thing that can change that is to change the constitution. For countries that don't have it, some people might say, oh, why don't we have the same laws as this other country so that we can bear arms and defend ourselves? I'm sure there are situations where armed robbers have broken into people's houses in a country where they are not legally allowed to own a gun, and it's ended badly, So one can make arguments for both cases. If we sit down and look at the data, then I suppose things get clearer. Okay, guys, we have come to the end of today's Today in History. Thank you for dropping by. Hopefully, I'll see you tomorrow. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe as well. Take care. Stay safe. Bye-bye.